Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to part 2 of me moving into the common planner and kind of shifting out of some of the Hobonichi planners. So if you haven't had a chance to see part 1 where I was moving into and kind of briefly setting up my B6 common planner, I will just link it somewhere in the cards up here. But if you wanted to see what's happening with this little N2H compact or the weeks, then you have absolutely come to the right place. And if we have never met, and this is the first time we're meeting, well, hello, my name is Meshi and I'm the person behind the line plans. We talk a couple of times a week on this channel, anything and everything, minimalist planning, journaling, stationery, fountain pens, you know the drill, all the things. But the idea behind the channel is obviously to really figure out a way to kind of step a little bit away from consumerism and really utilize and enjoy the things that we have without feeling the need to constantly consume more so that it collects dust. So if that's your jam or you wanted to kind of learn how to do that, you have come to the right place. So today, let me just move my juice over. Today I have this beautiful thing here, which I have to say I wasn't actually expecting to pick this up, but I've seen, I don't know what happened, don't ask. Because like, so I have the Hobonichi weeks here and I have tried the actual cover. So side note, I've tried this cover on the Sterling Ink planner. It does fit, but it's a really snug fit. And then I just kind of felt like it's actually sort of bending the planner itself. So I decided to take that off and we're just not gonna worry about that. So I just kept it on the Hobonichi weeks. The Hobonichi weeks has been working really well for me, but I do feel that because we have this, especially like, so I'll just show you a blank. Because you have this line of separation, I don't end up utilizing, I end up kind of creating a separation here with this one segment. Let me just zoom in so you can see a little bit better. So because we have this line kind of running through, I always felt that this is its own little category. And like, I understand that we can use it and like sub-segment it however we want, but because the lines are pretty dominant within the setup, within the grid of the Hobonichi weeks, I do feel like there is like this preemptive sort of suggestion of how we should be using it. And not that I felt constricted by this by any means, but I always just kind of felt like this was my setup. And if you look back multiple weeks, you will see that I kind of follow the same pattern week over week. And again, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just you get to a point where eventually it does become a little bit redundant. So I think I haven't fully decided just yet if I'm going to keep this and continue on with it for the next 6 months. I may or may not. I do like it for just, you know, basic memory keeping and like just a day-to-day check-in, or I might just completely abandon it and then fully utilize this. I'm definitely giving this a test go. And see how we feel, see where we land. But a couple of things I noticed is I really enjoy, first of all, this already feels a lot more spacious because we removed a lot of the grid. The other thing is that there aren't like a ton of grid suggestions here on the day section side, which is really lovely. And I love the fact that it's a white paper, and I didn't realize that I was missing that until I got it. And I kind of looked at white Tombow River paper and I was like, huh, that's a nice breath of fresh air. I'm really enjoying that. So obviously some drawbacks are simply the fact that the layout is not the same as the Hobonichi weeks, and I wasn't really expecting it to. So I'm just kind of giving it a test go, see how it goes. I did fill it up for this week, and as you can tell, I'm setting it up completely differently than the way that I would set up my normal weeks. You know what I mean? Like, even though it might be the same categories, but I do feel like I'm not, like there's a lot more space available for me to keep writing. So there is that. So I thought that we would kind of just run through. I'm not here to compare the two, by the way. This is not the video. If you guys want me to kind of compare and go through the nitty gritty of who I think each one would be for, please let me know in the comments. I would love to film that for you. But this video is mainly going to be highlighting this little guy. So I already added a couple of little stickers, which I thought were really cute. I just wanted to keep it minimal and like elegant. I also added these two, which I thought were so cute. Like, can we please discuss this? So we have like the yearly calendar, which is really lovely. I haven't had a chance to really look at the goals itself just yet, but I am planning on actually updating this because I think it would be really important to kind of like break down my goals into like what I'm planning on focusing on. Especially, so like I didn't mention this, the main purpose of this planner will be partially for social media planning, at least outlining social media plans, as well as work related. So any projects that I'm planning on doing, I think that this will be ideal to just kind of jot down the idea itself and then kind of hash it out like more in longer format in a larger notebook. So I do think that it's nice when you can subsegment and give each of your notebooks and your planners a little bit of a job and a function, because in that way you're not trying to overload every single information, every single micro detail into like one small booklet. Because there's nothing that bothers me more than when we're overloading one planner system for the sake of saying, well, I fit it all into one. Yeah, but like how functional, like how's that working for you? And I mean, like, no hate to anyone who is in a one planner system. To me, that system sounds extremely overwhelming and anxiety inducing. So we're like, I'm not putting myself through that. And like, nor should you if you don't have to, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's just my little rant on that I'm not going to try to over plan within a small compact size planner, because I don't think that that's the function. So I don't think that was what it was intended for. And then moving on to like breaking things down perpetually, I do love the idea of kind of writing down like any events, any like specials, any promos that I would like to run, especially moving into my new role. There's going to be multiple brands that I'm going to be kind of looking after. So this will be like a really nice way to kind of jot that down. Here, I think we're going to be tracking, I would like to actually give it a different color or maybe a different icon. And I think that it would be really cool to kind of break down like, you know, which social we're kind of posting to. And it would give you enough, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different slots. So I think that would be really nice to just kind of keep track of a few social platforms and see how we do, because that doesn't need to be done every single day. So that's kind of how I'm planning on using that. And then we're moving into the monthlies, and I want to write in all of the, not events, but like all of the holidays, any birthdays, any forms of celebration, any events, things like that that are really, really relevant to both social and to the clinic. Which really, and like I would like to like keep track of like whose contract is coming up for renewal. So like the same thing that I'm currently tracking in my existing planner. And then of course this week we have both a few video ideas in here, and I'm planning on traveling at the end of the week. So hence why we're here. So you're going to see a little bit more of me, because I'm trying to pre-shoot a few of my videos so that you can actually enjoy while I'm away. Look at me being productive. So that's it on the monthlies. I'm planning on, we can decorate June and then a little bit of July today. And then moving into the weeks, obviously, I really wanted to kind of plan this out. So then that way we're not dragging things out too long. I think that what I would like to do, especially with the Plan With Me section here for the weeks, is I will basically speed through this. So like I'm not talking through it. I'm really terrible at talking and actually planning at the same time. So we will put some music on and then you can enjoy, and we will save a little bit on time. So let's get into this. And by the way, if you're enjoying videos like a setup video that we're doing right now, and you wanted to see a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more of my thought process of why I choose certain systems and how I'm really planning on using it, or you wanted to have early access to videos like the one you're watching right now, make sure you check out the membership program that I have available here on YouTube, because I think that you would probably really enjoy it. Okay, back to the video. Let's go and set things up. So I thought that we would begin first setting up the monthly layout for the month of June. And yes, I know that there's only 1 month left, But I really wanted the opportunity not only to decorate things, but to also mark down some events that are happening, because the last week of June also happens to be a pretty busy one for us. We're kind of ending the month, and also we're going to be traveling. We're not only ending the school year, it's sort of like, it very much just feels like it's such a big chapter that's kind of coming to an end, and then a new one can begin. We're being nostalgic here because not only are we ending the school year, but we also happen to end like a 3-month wait time this week. I ended up basically picking up my car that I have been waiting on for 3 whole months. Can you believe it? I mean, nothing will humble you more than when you end up selling your car and you have to wait quite a while to be able to buy a new one, just based on circumstances alone. So I'm very happy that my road trip actually happens to go with the new car. Quite exciting. It's a very exciting time. So obviously I wanted to mark down that we're going to be traveling. I wanted to mark down some of the goals that I had for the month that I thought would be relevant, something that's going to be appropriate going into the month. So I'm really writing down not only the 3 main goals that I have for us, but I'm also writing down you know, just some of the things that were just sort of main focuses for us for the month of June. And with that being said, moving on to July. July starts out with a long weekend. So even though I didn't really use any like white or red, you know, like let's not get carried away, shall we? I really hate it when like the entire spread theme and decoration is completely made on just like one event or like one, you know, like one celebration. I don't know, I can never really pull that off. So right now I'm just going with some really summery July vibe type of themed stickers. I'm obviously marking down paydays. I'm probably going to be also marking down the very beginning of July, which is when both the long weekend happens to be, and I'm marking down when I'm coming back to town. I'm doing bare bone basics here for the month of July. And then now it's time to set up the weekly. Now on the weekly, I chose to use, so here I'm using the Pentel Sign pen, and this one is in like a light gray color, which seems to be really fitting for just kind of setting up grids. Sometimes I honestly want to kind of stay away from black. Sometimes I find it to be a little bit just too much for the spread itself. I am going to be setting up a little bit of a grid here on just the inner quarter of the page on the left hand side. So once I have created that division, I actually chose not to create any forms of division on the right hand side of the page, because I wanted to see like how much I can actually fit in there, and really like just when we remove all restrictions, how do I actually see myself using this? How, like, what are the categories that I would really love to add in there? Okay, this using a stencil is, and I mean, I've had these Hobonichi stencils for quite a while. I decided to add one stencil for video, so this was going to be like some of the videos that I wanted to kind of track. I'm also going to be tracking books, so the books that I'm reading, and I wanted to see if I can add in like current music that I'm loving, and unfortunately it is running a little bit, but that's okay. So once I kind of fill all of that out, I decided to actually add a brand new category at the top of the page, which I thought would be really fitting. I felt like the outer half of that second page just feels really empty to me. You'll see that in a moment once I fill in all of the little details, because it's race week. So obviously this is a big week, so I wanted to make sure that I marked that down. So now that we're a little bit zoomed out, I do have the left-hand page completely filled out. I'm just looking at some more decor pieces here to add. But as you can tell, at the very top of the page on the right-hand side, I did add social, which I thought would be really nice. And I'm going to add a little bit more categories. And it feels really freeing to just kind of be able to add a little bit more sections in there. I don't know why I'm loving this, but it just seems to be working for me right now. So I'm just adding a few decor pieces here and there just to kind of spruce it all up and then just fill in some blank spaces. Please don't mind my head right in the screen. We will forgive that collectively, so please don't mind me. But basically we have YouTube and we have TikTok, so I can plan out my YouTube and my TikTok videos, as well as next week and all the things that I think will be relevant going into the next week. And this is now slowly bringing us to the close. This is sort of the finished look. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, this setup video. If you did, you can obviously support the channel as per usual, but you just hanging out with me here means absolutely the world to me. And just, you know, keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Bye.